from the Y in Ashland. We're just gonna try out doing some video classes just to see how that works with us canceling class this week, just with everything going on, just to take some precautions. We thought maybe we'd try out doing a video class so you can do it from the comfort and safety of your own home. And we might try to add a couple a week or just kind of see how this goes. So if you want to, we just need a mat. You're welcome to use a block. I always have like a blanket or pillow with me. And you can also use a strap or any other kind of prop that you'd like. So we'll go ahead and get started. I also am going to play some music, so if you'd like to turn it up a little bit so you can hear that as well, or any kind of music you'd like to listen to yourself. We'll go ahead and get started. Just make our way down onto the mat, onto our backs, and I'll try to incorporate any sort of modification that you might need as well. So we're just going to work our way down, stretching out onto the backs, resting onto our pillow, or all the way down if you'd like. Just kind of resting those arms wherever it's most comfortable. Hands can be inside, close to the body, maybe stretch them out wide, maybe take them up above the head if that feels good to you as well. You can stretch the legs out to the end of the mat, or even kind of work them to the sides, resting the knees together. Maybe bring one hand over the heart, one over the navel. I'm just going to kind of rest the eyes here, slow the breath down. Just try to connect with the breath as it moves through the body. Just trying to work in some deep breaths here. Nice slow, deep inhales. Really feel ourselves expand and lift up away from the mat. And as we exhale, just kind of feel ourselves sink down deeper into the mat, really melting down into the mat. If we've just got those legs stretched out towards the end of the mat, we're just kind of letting the toes fall out to the side, maybe trying to bring the heels a little closer together. We'll just take a few more deep breaths here. Take one more deep inhale. Nice slow exhale. And then if we haven't already, we'll start to stretch those legs out to the end of the mat, slowly kind of waking up the body, wiggling out the toes, kind of wiggling the fingers, maybe moving the feet a bit from side to side. Same thing, kind of working our way up the legs, kind of rocking left to right, wiggling out those fingers, maybe kind of flipping the hands over, moving them around in some figure eights, or maybe some circles, just kind of working out the wrist a bit. We'll start to work our way up into the head, just gently starting to drop the head from side to side, just as far down as you're comfortable with. Maybe bringing that ear closer towards the mat. Slowly working our way over to the other side. Nice, gentle, slow movements. And then we'll go ahead and start to stretch those arms up behind the head. Take a big inhale, big full body stretch, really reaching back for the wall behind us. As we exhale, we're going to slowly bring that right leg in towards the chest, bring those arms around to meet it. Interlace those fingers around the shin, or even move those hands to the thigh if you prefer. And we'll just gently start to pull in nice and slow on that right leg. Just bringing it in towards the chest, maybe resting here, staying still if we'd like, or maybe starting to add a little bit more movement, kind of slow, gentle movements again, side to side. Maybe starting to guide that knee around in some small circles, maybe some half circles if that feels good to you as well. Just kind of moving in whatever way feels best. Whatever it feels like you need this morning. Maybe you need to keep coming to center and then back out to the outer side. Just taking our time, continuing to breathe. So relaxing the muscles of the face. And then if we were moving that leg around from side to side, we'll slowly start to make our way back to center, hugging that leg back in towards the chest, taking a breath here. And then on our next exhale, we'll release that leg just enough to send that left hand to the outside of that right knee. Start to guide that leg across our body as we move into our twist. Right arm's going to go up to the top right corner. We're guiding that right leg out in the direction of the left side of the mat, kind of working our way to the floor. Our gaze can stay up high towards the ceiling, or we can even start to work our way over towards the right side of the room, maybe focus on that right hand. And that's just if the neck allows. If we're feeling any pain, just start to send that gaze back up towards the ceiling. You can also grab a hold of a block if you have one, or your pillow, maybe rest it underneath that right knee if you'd like. Might feel the hips start to stack here. We want to make sure we've got the shoulder blades still rested against the mat. So if we feel we start twisting a little too far and come off the mat, we just want to slowly kind of guide that leg back just a little bit to rest back into the mat. Just keep working in those deep breaths. Just a few more resting here. And then we'll slowly start to move that left hand back to the inside of that right knee and slowly begin to guide that leg back to center. Bring that right arm around to meet it. Hug that leg back in towards the chest. Again, hands can be on the shin or even move them to the thigh if you need to. Gaze is back up towards the ceiling. We're gently pulling in on that right leg. Taking a few more breaths here. And then we'll start to move into our half happy baby. So we're going to keep that right foot up towards the ceiling. Start to take a wide stance. Reach up with that right arm to hold on to whatever point's most comfortable. So that could be the inside or outside of the foot. Maybe hold on to the ankle or shin. Maybe wrap the arm around the thigh if you'd like. Maybe loop around the big toe. Just wherever it's most comfortable, where you can still keep your head rested and upper body rested against the mat. And we're just gently pulling down on that right leg. So we're kind of driving the knee more towards the side of the body, kind of close to the body and towards the armpit. And we're working towards getting the ankle lined up over the knee, but we definitely don't have to be there yet. If we need to have more of a bend in the knee, that's totally fine. We're just working your way in that direction. And again, you don't have to reach up for the hand. You can definitely have the arm wrapped around the thigh if you'd like. If we're feeling too much of a stretch through that left hip flexor, we can also start to pull that leg in a little closer, maybe step back onto the mat. Bring more of a bend to the knee, or if you're comfortable with it, just keep that leg stretched out. You're still trying to work in those deep breaths. Help the body to relax. Just a few more breaths here. And then from here, we're going to move into our figure four. So we're going to keep a hold of that right leg, maybe lower that foot down if we need to. We're going to step that left leg back onto the mat. We're going to turn our right leg to rest the ankle against that left thigh. So we're making a four here. We're going to reach through and grab a hold of that left leg, either around the thigh or reach all the way through to the shin if you'd like. Whatever feels most comfortable. Stay relaxed onto the mat, gently and slowly starting to pull in on that left leg. So we're getting a good stretch through that right hip and right glute. And just easy, slow movements, pulling that leg back in, pulling that left leg in towards us, maybe keeping a bend in that left leg or even extending that leg up towards the ceiling if you'd like. Still working in those deep breaths. Help those muscles in the body to relax. Just holding it a little longer here, still breathing. And on your next exhale, we're going to slowly start to release that left leg. Let that foot come back down to the mat. We'll start to unwrap that right leg. We'll extend those legs back out to the ends of the mat. Start to work those arms up behind the head again. Take a big inhale, big full body stretch, really reaching back. Lengthen through the body. Exhale, pull that left leg back in towards the chest. Bring those arms around to meet it. Again, interlace around the shin or move to the thigh. Gently start to pull that leg in towards the chest, kind of moving a little towards the side of the body if we'd like as well. And from here, it's totally up to you. Whatever you need on this side, maybe pulling that leg in, holding it close, resting here, maybe adding a little movement side to side, maybe guiding that knee around in some small circles. Just kind of listening to your body, see what it's telling you need. Maybe some nice slow movements, or maybe you find more comfort in the stillness, holding that leg in close. And just make sure we're still breathing. And if we're moving that leg around a bit, let's start to work our way back to center. Hug that leg back in towards the chest. Take a few breaths here. And then we'll start to move into our twist again. So if you had the block on that left side, we'll just move it over to the right to get ready. And then as we exhale, we'll start to release that leg just enough to send that right hand to the outside of the knee. Start to guide that leg across our body. Again, resting onto our block if we'd like here. Send that left arm up to the top left corner. Gaze can follow if our neck will allow. Might need to keep the gaze up towards the ceiling, or maybe just slowly start to send our gaze to the left side. Keep those shoulder blades against the mat. Keep working in those deep breaths. Chest is nice and open. We're just dropping that left leg out in the direction of the floor to the right side, or just to the right side of the mat. Definitely don't have to meet the floor. We're just kind of working in that direction. Maybe feeling the hips start to stack. Just going as far to the side as you are comfortable with. Start to move that right hand to the inside of that left knee. Start to slowly bring that leg all the way back. Bring that left arm around to meet it. Gaze is back up towards the ceiling. Wrap those arms around the shin, or again, move to the thigh. Pull that leg in towards the chest. Take a few breaths here. And from here, we'll start to move into our half happy baby on this left side. Left foot goes up towards the ceiling. Reach up for whatever point's most comfortable. Inside or outside of the foot, maybe loop around the big toe, hold on to the ankle, the calf or shin, maybe wrap the arm around the thigh. Wherever it's comfortable for you, gently pulling down on that left leg, really opening up that left side. Right leg still stretched out to the end of the mat, but if we need to, maybe take a step back onto the mat if you've got too much of a pull in that right hip flexor, if it's causing you any pain. Just make sure we're still working in those deep breaths, gently pulling down on that left leg, working towards getting the ankle lined up over the knee, but again, definitely don't have to be there. If we've got some tight hamstrings, that might be a little difficult. Just take a few more deep breaths here. And then again, we'll start to move into our figure four. So option to keep a hold of that left leg. You can lower that foot down if you need to. Start to step that right leg onto the mat again, and we start to lower that left leg to turn and rest the ankle against the thigh. Maybe push up towards the knee if you need a little bit more space. Reach through and grab a hold of that right leg at the thigh or all the way through to the shin. Gently pulling it again, nice and slow. We're pulling that leg in towards us. Real slow, gentle movement. So we don't want to rush it too fast. We just don't want to start jerking that leg in close to us. We're just going to slowly start to pull in. Still working in those deep breaths, keeping a bend in that right knee. Maybe even extend that leg up if you prefer. And on our next exhale here, we'll go ahead and slowly lower that right leg down. Let the foot meet the mat, and then we can unwrap that left leg. Walk those feet back out towards the end of the mat. Start to work those arms up behind the head. Take another big inhale, big full body stretch, really reaching back. Big breath. And then as we exhale, one at a time or both legs together, start to pull them in towards the chest. Bring those arms around to meet those legs. Again, interlace the fingers. Maybe just kind of wrap the arms around the shins. Kind of bear hug around them. Take a little rock from side to side if you'd like here. Also, I'll have the option to start to lift the head in towards the knees. Get a stretch on the back as well. And if we lifted the head, we'll lower it back down to the mat. Return ourselves back to center. We'll move into our full happy baby. So we're going to kick both feet up towards the ceiling. Take a wide stance again. Reach up for whatever point's most comfortable on either leg. So that could be different. I could have to hold on to the thigh on one side, and maybe I can reach up to the foot on the other. So it could be totally different. Just reaching up wherever it's most comfortable for you. Maybe stay still here or add a little rock from side to side if that feels good as well. Just make sure we're still breathing. And if we're rocking side to side, we'll start to work our way back to center. And then one at a time with both legs together, we're going to drop those feet back down to the mat. So once those feet meet, we can either keep them close together, if you'd like to, heel toe them about hip distance apart. We're going to start to drop the legs from side to side. So we're going to stretch those arms out to the side of the mat, maybe even come into our cactus arms. Send the hands to the top of the mat, bending at the elbow. This is just going to help keep our whole upper body firm against the mat as we move the lower body from side to side. So we're just going to start to drop from left to right. So we inhale, we've got the knees up towards the ceiling. On our exhale, we're just going to start to drop them as far to the side as you're comfortable with. They can separate, it's totally fine. We inhale, pull it back to center. Exhale, start to work our way over to the other side. Moving back and forth with our breath, just taking our time. So we inhale to center, exhale over to the side. Inhale, pull yourself back up to center. Exhale, back over to the other side. Just take your time, dropping those legs down as far as you're comfortable with. Just moving with our breath. Let's take two more, one more for each side. And after those last two breaths, we make our way back to center. We'll pull those legs back in towards the chest. Rest one hand on each leg. So we've got the right hand rested onto the right shin, left hand onto the left shin. We'll add a little rock side to side. And then we're just going to start to guide those legs around in this big wide circle, just as far to the side as you're comfortable with. Again, making some big wide circles. Doesn't matter which way we start. And then we'll start to work our way around the other side. Trying to still keep those legs together, just guiding them around. Big wide circles. Kind of leading with the knees. We'll take one more full circle, full breath. Make our way back to center. You can bear hug around those legs again if you'd like, or maybe just interlace the fingers. Take another gentle rock side to side if you'd like. Maybe lift the head one more time in towards the knees. And if we lifted the head, we'll lower it back down to the mat. We're going to keep rocking, but we'll start to rock our way all the way over onto our right side. So coming to the right side of the mat, keeping those knees held in close to the chest. Resting the head onto our pillow or blanket, maybe still onto the mat, or even tucking that right arm up underneath the head. Keeping those knees pulled in, just taking a few deep breaths here.
I wish I met you further along. Gave you my other heart, still and strong.
And we'll start to move that left hand down to the mat or floor in front of us. And then on our inhale, we'll press up through that left hand, make our way into a comfortable seated position. So we're gonna make our way back to the mat. So from here, it's totally up to you. If you like your legs stretched out, you can definitely do so. Maybe cross them or stack them. Maybe have one in front of the other. Just sitting however it's most comfortable for you. You can also sit onto your block or onto the blanket to kind of elevate yourself a little bit. Just gonna rest the hands into the lap or maybe out onto the knees. Palms can also be facing up if we'd like. Or we can just kind of rest them next to us onto the mat. We'll just rest the eyes. So you can close them or just kind of send the gaze down. Relax the shoulders back. Relax the muscles of the face. So if we notice we're kind of holding some tension in the brow or the forehead, maybe just wiggle out the brow a bit. Same thing if we notice we're clenching the jaw, we can kind of separate those lips or maybe open the mouth. You can also start to open and close the mouth several times, maybe start to move the lower jaw from side to side. Just want to release any tension we're holding across the face. You've got the shoulders relaxed down the back. Still connecting with the breath. We'll start to take a few rolls of the shoulders. So we'll start working our way back first. So on our inhale, start to bring those shoulders back towards the wall behind us. Pull them up high towards those ears. On our exhale, roll them forward and down. Again, inhale, start to work our way back. Pull them up high towards those ears. And as we exhale, roll them forward and down. We'll do two more this way. Inhale, take them back. Up towards those ears. Exhale, roll them forward and down. Last one. We'll take a big inhale back. Up towards those ears as high as we can. Exhale, roll them forward and down. Opposite way now. So as we inhale, start to come forward, up towards those ears again, and then exhale, roll them back and down. Inhale, start to take them forward, up towards those ears. Exhale, roll them back and down. Two more. Big inhale, take them forward, up towards those ears. As we exhale, big roll back and down. Last one this way. Inhale, forward, up towards those ears. Exhale, roll them back and down. Go straight up and down for the ears now. So big inhale, big shrug. Bring those shoulders up as close as we can to the ears. Exhale, slower, quick release. Drop those shoulders back down. Inhale again, lift them up high, big shrug. Exhale, slower, quick release. Drop them back down. Two more. Big inhale, lift them up high, big shrug here. Exhale, slower, quick release back down. Last one, hold at the top, big inhale, bring them up high, big shrug, really pulling up as close as we can towards those ears. And on our exhale, slower, quick release back down. Maybe shake out the arms if we need to a bit, move the head a little from side to side. And we'll keep the eyes rested, softness across the face. On our next exhale, we're going to slowly start to drop the head over to the right side, just as far to the right as you're comfortable with, kind of hovering over that right shoulder. Both shoulders are still relaxed. We've got softness across the face. Maybe separate the lips or open the mouth slightly if we need. Really relax the jaw. And we're just breathing into that left side of the neck, slowly allowing it to open up. And just a few more breaths here. And if the head feels a little heavy, you can definitely use a hand to assist. On our next inhale, we'll start to lift the head back up towards center. Big inhale as we rise up. Slow release of the breath once we reach the top. Taking another inhale here at center. On our exhale, gently drop the head over to the left side now. Slowly dropping the head down. And again, just as far down to the left side as you're comfortable with, just kind of hovering over that left shoulder. Softness still across the face. Sending our attention to that right side of the neck to allow it to open up. Breathing into that right side. And from here, we're going to start to move back and forth between the shoulders. So we'll take another inhale over this left shoulder. On our inhale, instead of rising up to center, we'll take another inhale over this left shoulder. And then as we exhale, we're going to start to slowly drop the head forward. Slowly rolling across the chest. Make our way over to the right side. Big inhale again. And as we exhale, roll the head forward, dropping it down across the chest, and make our way over to the left side. So we're just moving back and forth between the shoulders here. We're inhaling over the shoulder, exhale, dropping the head down, rolling across the chest. Try to release the breath the whole way as we make our way across the chest, feeling the chin come closer towards the chest with each breath. Nice slow, gentle movements from side to side. Just moving with our breath and taking our time here. And let's take 2 more full breaths. And on that last exhale, we'll just meet back at the center of the chest, just letting the head hang heavy, hanging forward. Just breathing and sending our attention to the back of the neck now. Just letting the head hang heavy, hanging forward. The head might feel a little extra heavy here, so if we need to, definitely use a hand to assist, kind of resting below the chin. On our next inhale, we'll slowly rise all the way up. Big breath as we rise back up. Once we reach the top, we'll just slowly release that breath. One more big breath here. Nice slow release. And we'll start to move from side to side now. So inhaling again as we face forward. On our exhale, start to turn the head to the right or left. Doesn't matter which way we start. Inhale, pull ourselves back to center. Exhale, use the breath to guide our way over to the other side. Kind of pushing our way to the side. Inhale, pull ourselves to center. Exhale, over to the other side. Just moving the head from left to right. Using the breath to guide us. Let's take 2 more breaths. So that's 1 more for each side. And after those last 2 breaths, we'll just make our way back towards our neutral spine. Definitely welcome to keep the eyes relaxed here and rested, or if you'd like to, you can slowly start to blink them open. We'll start to move through our cat-cow. So we've got lots of options here. The main movement stays the same. We're mostly focusing on opening up the chest, sending the gaze as high as you're comfortable with. Exhale, rounding out the spine, dropping the head down. So we're kind of coming up high onto the sit bones as we inhale. Exhale, kind of rolling back a little onto the tailbone if we can. Rounding out the spine, moving with our breath. From here, you're welcome to keep the hands rested into the lap, maybe next to us. You can also bring the hands up behind the head if you'd like. Opening up the chest a little bit more as we inhale. You can also incorporate those arms as we move through with the breath. So as we inhale, we can lift up nice and high, reach up for the ceiling. Exhale, pull through center and push the breath away, really rounding out the spine. Also an option to pull those elbows back, really opening up the chest as we inhale. Exhale, really pushing the breath away, rounding out the spine a bit more. Inhale, opening up the chest, bending the spine. Exhale, rounding out the spine. So just taking our time, moving with our own individual breath, using it to guide us back and forth. Breathing through any cracks and pops you might be feeling. Just shouldn't have any pain. So if you're feeling any pain in the neck, maybe looking up a little bit too high. So we can start to send the gaze more in front if we need to. Still just opening up the chest, kind of bending the spine, pulling those shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, rounding up the spine. Dropping the head down. Again, as far as you're comfortable with. Let's take 5 to 6 more full breaths. And after those last few breaths, we'll just start to complete the final breath we're on, wherever you're at. Just finishing that final breath and starting to make our way back towards our neutral spine. Just taking our time to get there. And then we'll come back to sitting nice and tall. We're gonna move through a slight twist here. Send that left arm back behind us just to brace ourselves. So if we're turning back, we just got those fingertips rested down. You can also use your block here if you'd like for a little bit more height, or reach back and have the palm down. We're sending the right hand to rest against that left knee. So we're really mostly focusing on opening up to the side, sending our gaze out to the left, keeping the chest open out to the left side as well. If you'd like to, you can start to push against that left leg, moving a little further into our twist if you'd like. Just make sure we're still breathing, still sitting nice and tall. So if we notice we start to kind of hunch forward a bit, maybe just send our gaze more to the left side. Keep those shoulders away from the ears. Keep working in those deep breaths. One more big inhale. And on our exhale, slowly start to work our way back. Coming through center, switching sides. Left hand comes to the right knee, right arm spins back. If we've got those legs stretched out, same thing. We're just coming to the right leg. You can also just kind of be resting against the thigh. Shoulders are dropped back, sending our gaze to the right side. And if you'd like to, go a little further. Maybe push against that leg a bit. Send the gaze back. Moving further into that twist, just make sure we're still comfortably breathing. One more big inhale. And as we exhale, slowly start to twist back to center. We're going to do a little lateral stretch to the side. So again, if you'd like to, you can have your block. So a block to the side if you need a little bit more height. You can also just rest down onto the floor, separating those fingers, press down through that left hand. What we mostly want to focus on is as we make our way to the left side, we just don't want to drop onto that left shoulder. So we just don't want to use that as a brace or a crutch. We just kind of want to bend at the elbow if we're able to go further to the side, or maybe walk that arm out a little further to the end of the mat as well. Just making sure we're not locking that arm and resting into the shoulder, bending at the elbow if we need to. So sitting nice and tall, right arm out to the side, pressing down through that left hand. On our inhale, reach up nice and high. Kind of sweep up across the ceiling and work your way over to the left side. Gaze can be down to the mat or up if you'd like. We're actively reaching out for that left side, or if you need to, keep that hand up towards the ceiling and make those adjustments with that left arm where you need. So maybe walk that hand out a little further to the side, maybe bend a little more at the elbow. Just make sure we're still breathing. We're really opening up that right side body. So really breathing into that right side. And on our next inhale, slowly work our way all the way back up. Slowly release the breath as we drop that right hand down. Inhale, left arm sweeps up. And work our way over to the right side. Again, adjusting that right arm how we need to. Kind of walk it out to the end of the mat if we need. Maybe bend at the elbow a bit more. Option to keep that left arm straight up to the ceiling if you'd like. Or work our way to the end of the mat, kind of over to that right side of the room. Gaze can be down again if we need to. Maybe straight out in front. Or up towards the ceiling. Really breathing into that left side. And on the next inhale, slowly lift ourselves all the way back up. Slowly release the breath, drop that arm down. We're going to keep the right leg held in close to us, and we're going to extend just that left leg out. So I'm facing the side of the mat so you all can see me, but you'll be onto your mat. So your left leg's out to the end of the mat, right leg is pulled in. We can flex that foot if we'd like. It's just going to help us feel it deeper through the stretch all the way up the calf and hamstring into the glute, maybe lower back as well. Drop those shoulders back. On our inhale, we're going to lift up nice and high. Reach up through the ceiling. Exhale, slowly start to fold forward. So we're hinging at the hips. So we just want to make sure we're sending the whole upper body forward and down over that left leg. We don't want to just drop the head down because that's going to strain the back of our neck. We want to slowly work our way down. This is a good time if you got a strap or a towel. You can wrap it along the bottom of the foot and kind of slowly hinge yourself forward. You can also just kind of rest the hands onto the shin if you'd like. If you need to focus more here, keeping the back nice and straight and really cueing yourself to hinge at the hips. Slowly working our way down. Reach out for the foot or ankle, calf or shin. Maybe you can hold onto the thigh if you'd like. And just slowly work our way down. Make sure we're still breathing. So we just don't want to go too far too fast. We just don't want to start to go from 0 to 10 and fold right over that leg. Just slowly easing our way down. Again, have that option to flex the foot if you'd like. Still working in those deep breaths. And on our inhale, use those hands, slowly walk our way all the way back up. We'll switch sides. So the right leg's gonna go out, left leg pulls in. Flex that foot again if you'd like, drop those shoulders back, arms out to the side. On our inhale, lift up nice and high, reach up to the ceiling. And then exhale, hinging at the hips, slowly folding forward. Reach out for the end of the mat. So we're holding onto the foot or ankle, calf or shin. Again, hands can just be kind of rested onto the shin or even onto the floor if we'd like. You can even hold onto the thigh, just whatever's most comfortable for you. Easing our way down. Just a few more breaths here. And on our inhale, slowly start to walk our way all the way back up. And we'll stretch that left leg back out. So we've got both legs out to the center of the mat, dropping those shoulders back, arms out to the side, flexing those feet if we'd like. On our inhale, lift up nice and high again. Reach up, lats and length through the spine. Exhale, hinging at the hips, slowly folding over, both legs together. Reaching out as far as we're comfortable. Let's hold onto the foot or ankle, calf or shin, maybe even the thighs again. Maybe keep the hands to the floor or mat. Still working in those deep breaths, slowly easing our way down. Alright, and on our next inhale, just use those hands to slowly start to ease our way back up. Move back into our seated position. And we're just going to start to swing those legs around and meet into our tabletop position. So we're going to come up onto our hands and knees. If you have any issues with your wrists or your knees, you can also flip the mat over, kind of double up on the cushioning. You can also kind of grab a blanket and rest it, or towel and rest it below your knees or wrists if you need to. We're just going to try and line up those hands below the shoulders, knees are below the hips, separating those fingers and really trying to push all the way down through the whole hand, all the way through to the fingertips. So we're really trying not to just drive our weight down through the palm underneath the wrist. You can have the hands facing forward if you need to. You can also turn to more of a 45-degree angle, kind of towards the corners of the mat, and that will just help help take some of that pressure off of the wrist as well. Just got a nice neutral spine here as we're resting in our tabletop. So we're pulling the navel in towards the spine. Try not to drop the belly down here. Have a nice neutral spine, pushing the mat away. So we're lifting up out of the shoulders, trying not to just sink down here. Really pushing out away from the mat. Gaze is slightly in front of us, or maybe even directly below us between those hands as well. Nice neutral spine, taking a few breaths here. And then we'll start to move through some more cat-cows. So on our inhale, we'll start to drop the belly down, send the gaze a little further out in front, maybe up towards the ceiling if you're comfortable with that. Exhale, start to drop the head down, round up the spine. We're pulling the tailbone in. Move our way back with our breath. Inhale, dropping the belly down, pulling those shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, dropping the head down, pushing the mat further away, so we're really rounding out the spine and the shoulders. Inhale, dropping the belly down, gaze goes high. Exhale, pushing the mat away, dropping the head down, really pulling the navel and the ribs in towards the spine as well. Moving back and forth with our breath, so we're just taking our time, moving with our own individual breath. If you'd like to add And maybe a little wiggle from side to side if that feels good to you at the top. Or maybe even down at the bottom as well, while we're dropping the belly down, kind of going from side to side, or even kind of just moving in big circles as well, if that feels good to you. Just kind of moving in whatever way it feels like you need this morning. Just taking our time and moving with our breath. It's the most important. Just never trying to lose the breath. Just keep connecting, using it to guide us back and forth. Let's take 3 to 4 more full breaths. Really warming up the spine here. And after we start to finish up those last few breaths, we'll just complete the final breath we're on. And then just start to ease our way back towards our neutral spine. Pulling the navel back in. Gaze us back out towards the top of the mat, maybe between those hands if you prefer a nice neutral spine. We're going to thread the needle through each side. So we're going to press down through that left hand. On our inhale, we're going to send that right arm up nice and high. So we're going to do a slight twist here, reach up for the ceiling. Exhale, we'll pull it through behind that left hand and all the way through to the side of the mat. Lower ourselves down into that right shoulder. So from here, it's up to you if you'd like to just kind of relax that left arm down into the mat. Maybe walk it out to the top of the mat if you'd like. Or maybe even go for a wrap. Take that arm behind the back, kind of reaching out for that right side. Start to pull the elbow and shoulder back, opening up the chest. We're relaxing the weight down into that right shoulder. And that left arm just isn't holding any weight for us. Just relaxing here, continuing to breathe. So that the hips lined up over the knees. And if we went for the wrap, we'll go ahead and slowly start to lower that hand back down to the mat. Once that left hand meets, on our inhale, we'll press up through that left hand, make our way back into our tabletop position. From here, we're going to switch sides. So we're pressing down through that right hand. On our inhale, we're going to send that left arm up nice and high, reach up for the ceiling, and exhale, pull it through behind that right hand, lower ourselves down onto that left shoulder. Right arm again can kind of stretch out to the top of the mat. We can relax it down. Or we can even go for a wrap, taking it behind the back, pulling that elbow and shoulder back. Taking just a few more breaths here. And then if you did go for the wrap, just start to bring that right arm back down to the mat. On our inhale, we'll start to press up through that right hand, make our way back into our tabletop. From here, we're going to sink back into our child's pose. So we're just going to keep those knees together, or if you prefer, move them to the sides of the mat. Sink back towards those heels. Start to walk the hands out towards the top of the mat and lower the forehead down. If you've got the knees together, you can also lower the forehead down, wrap those arms along the sides, kind of reach out for the feet. You can also bring those hands together behind the back of the head. So kind of resting in our reverse prayer hands. Just getting a good stretch through the triceps and shoulders as well. Or just stretch them out towards the end of the mat. Just kind of resting whatever way is most comfortable for you. Trying to sink back as close to those heels as we can. Keep the big toes together. If we need to, we can keep the hips a little higher, or even set on our block here. Or even have, if you've got some knee pain and it's hard to sink back towards those heels, you can also rest a blanket or towel below you as well. Just trying to take in some deep breaths here, big belly breaths, big deep inhales. Really feel ourselves lift up away from the mat. On our exhale, feel yourself sink down and kind of melt deeper into the mat. Just trying to take maybe 2 or 3 more big breaths. Maybe even trying to even out that count. Maybe big deep inhale for 3, 4, or 5. And then as you exhale, trying to release the breath at the same count. 3, 4, and 5. And then from here, it's totally up to you if you'd like to stay rested into your child's pose. If you prefer, maybe flip over onto your back, as we did in the beginning of class. Stretch those legs out. Just kind of relax in whatever way is most comfortable for you. We definitely like to hear some feedback if you liked this. The normal way my classes go, for those of you that come every week, Mondays are usually like really slow flow like this. Tuesdays kind of, we pick up the pace, come off the mat a little bit. And then Fridays, we're moving a little bit more, getting the heart rate going. So we might start just with this one class, and then you can play it whenever you'd like to. So it's really nice, especially for some people that are off work and maybe haven't ever had the opportunity to come to class. This is a really good way for you to kind of try it out and see if you like it. But yeah, just definitely let us know, and thanks for being so patient with us and working with us, because I know it's kind of a crazy time. So, all right, hope you guys have a great day. Thank you.